Imagine a prison inside a city, hundreds of political prisoners, and a chaotic administration barely functioning. Now imagine a team living in the cells, secretly digging a tunnel the length of an entire street. They defy every expectation, turning the prison into a hidden workshop of light, electricity, and ventilation. And after 18 months of nightly work, 49 men walk out on a quiet bus as if nothing had ever happened. This isn't a novel, this is a true story from Chile under Pinochet. Today, we tell you the Great Escape from Santiago Prison. In the 1970s, Chile stood at a crossroads. The election of Salvador Allende promised radical change, nationalizing the mines, agrarian reform, and lifting the living standards of thousands of families. But this upward path brought powerful enemies both inside and outside the country. Economic pressure, international conspiracies, and internal unrest came together until the table was overturned by a military coup in 1973. General Pinochet seized power, unleashing a wave of repression never seen before. Mass arrests. Among the thousands of political detainees, there was a select group: movement leaders, activists, students. Among them, two men stood out. One was an engineer who could map buildings in his mind, and the other a leader with the gift of persuasion. Life inside the prison wasn't what you might imagine. Yes, it was harsh, but the disorder and lack of guards also gave room for something unexpected: movement, meetings, and the planting of what seemed like a crazy idea escape through a tunnel. But this wasn't just a hole in the ground. It was a full plan that required a starting point, an internal team spread across different cells, an external team to buy supplies and prepare the exit, a way to dispose of 51 tons of soil, a safe lighting and ventilation system, and even political and media cover. The groundwork began quietly: a hunger strike, an internal protest, a call for lawyers and journalists, all of it meant to pressure the prison to move the political prisoners to the ground floor, where movement and digging were easier. And here came the secret diplomacy: an opposition lawyer acting as a go-between, and rented houses near the prison serving as external bases for the plan. The work wasn't sudden or dramatic, it was a sequence of precise moves: opening a cell in a neglected corner, a guitar playing to create noise, a staged distraction when an officer passed by, everything carefully calculated. Simple tools were smuggled in through prison workshops: screwdrivers, hammers, stolen light bulbs. Soil was packed into bags, carried slowly to a secondary storage room, and from there, a strategy was devised to gradually dispose of it above ground. After months of digging, the tunnel wasn't just a cramped hole. It became a structured passage wide enough for a person, with smooth walls, wooden reinforcements, drainage to prevent flooding, and a lighting system powered by stolen wires and batteries. They even built ventilation, a simple air compressor, pipes to extend fresh air, and safety checks to avoid suffocation. It was like a hidden engineering project carved inside the prison. Fueled by sheer determination, for 18 months, the team faced for near discoveries: a sudden inspection, a partial roof collapse, a fight between inmates threatening to expose the plan. Each time, the cover-up worked: loud guitar playing, exaggerated news fed to journalists, meticulous camouflage with plaster and paint to hide openings. None of it was coincidence, it was the result of studying guard behavior and exploiting the system's weaknesses. Finally, the group reached the moment of truth. After digging nearly 73 meters, they were ready to exit through an old train station. But nature had its own twist. Just days before the escape, a massive earthquake struck Chile. Streets collapsed, buildings crumbled, and yet the tunnel remained intact. Amid the chaos, the plan pressed on. But at the climax, betrayal struck. A spy inside the group raised the alarm during the final stage. One of the leaders stepped in heroically to contain the situation, but the price was high. Some men were left behind, and one leader may have sacrificed everything so others could be free. In the end, 49 prisoners escaped, finding freedom either abroad or in safe regions. But freedom came at a cost. Some disappeared, others went into exile, and Pasquale Engineer remained behind bars, accused of murder after confronting the spy. Still, his name turned into a symbol of resistance, an icon for those who would later overthrow the dictatorship. The bitter truth is this: the success of a collective mission doesn't always mean justice for all of its heroes. This story is more than an escape adventure. It's a lesson in civic organization, in how thought and skill can break through even the harshest conditions, and in the sacrifices some are willing to make so others can live. It's also a reminder that history is sometimes written in ways the authorities never expect. If you enjoyed this story and how they turned a prison into a secret workshop, hit like and subscribe and tell me in the comments, was Pasquale a victim of injustice or did he deserve to be a symbol? Should I make a full video breaking down each step of the digging and deception? Share your thoughts. In a world that believes walls protect the system, remember this: a determined mind and patient planning can break any barrier. When people decide to act, even prison walls can be reshaped. This was the journey of a tunnel built by willpower. See you in the next episode.